Hey everybody, this week's episode of the R&R Show is brought to you by you. Thank you very much for supporting the show. This is a bonus R&R that has been unlocked by people subscribing on Twitch, buying Rahdo merch, becoming members on YouTube. All that stuff adds up to occasionally unlock a bonus because the R&R Show is a monthly show, but we're getting to do a bonus one thanks to you folks. Thank you very much for all your support. And hello, Ruel. How are you doing, man?
Good, Richard. Thank you again, friends, for unlocking this bonus episode. It's super excited to be here because it
Yes.
is a bonus episode. We normally do a monthly show, but thanks to you all, we get to do it a little more than monthly. And anytime I get to hang out with Richard is a good time in my book. Richard, you look rejuvenated, refreshed, and relaxed thanks to your week-long, or actually over a week-long vacation now
Yes.
up there in Alaska, correct?
Yep, yeah. Jen and I had an amazing time. We rented an RV. We spent, I think it was either 7 or 8 days on the road, then plus travel back and forth. So it was the first vacation we'd had in 6 years and maybe one of the best vacations we've ever had, period. We had a great time. And if you're just watching the R&R show, folks, what are you doing? Did you not know there's an R&R extended edition where you can see, in addition to the top 10 we're about to do, which I'm very excited to hear what Ruel comes up with, we talk about a bunch of other stuff. And I did a little slideshow tour of some of the highlights of our show. So if you want, you can hit that eye in the top right corner of the screen to check out the extended version of the show. Or if you just want the games, James, then you're in the right place because we're about to talk about our 10 most anticipated games that haven't come out yet for the remainder of 2022.
Yeah, that's it. So, folks, be sure to click on those show notes. Go watch the extended show. You're going to see some amazing photos that Richard took, and I loved hearing all about the story. So go check that out on the extended edition. But yes, we are here to talk about 10 games, folks. 10 games that are going to be coming out sometime during this year that we're super excited about. I know the ones I've got. I cannot wait to play them. And I'm going to give you a little spoiler, folks.
Yeah.
I've actually played one of them,
Ooh,
but in a
okay.
prototype form.
Okay.
So that's coming up real soon here. Anything else we got to take care of business wise?
Well, I mean, of course, caveats, of course, things happen. These might not show up before the end of 2022. But to make this list, what we did is we went on Board Game Geek and checked out the Gen Con preview and the Essen Spiel preview because that's full of a bunch of games, hundreds of games, that the publishers are confident will be at those conventions. So we sorted by games for sale, not for demo, games, not expansions, and we really used that as the basis for our list. So we're relatively confident you should be able to get your hands on these. That meant there are some games that I think are coming out this year that aren't on this list because the publishers have. If you're not confident you're going to make it by Essen, I'm not confident you're going to make it by the end of the year. So there are some games we could have talked about, but they didn't quite make the list. Right?
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, that is correct. You'll hear about it. Now, speaking of our extended show, folks, if you watch the extended show, sometimes we also talk about the games that didn't make our list. So you get the 10 here, but during the after show, you may hear about a bunch more. So be sure to click that link and check out the extended show.
Yeah, also, you'll hear about even more if you are a YouTube member or a Patreon subscriber of the show, because my monthly ramble this month is going to be a Gen Con preview, where I'm going to dig deep. I'm going to scour through that entire Gen Con preview list. Hundreds and hundreds of games, talk about the ones to get, the ones to demo, the expansions, all of that. So that'll be coming too if you're a member on YouTube or a Patreon subscriber. But that's all for the future because we are here now. We are ready to talk about 10 games. And are you ready with number 10?
I'm ready. So here we go. Our top 10 most anticipated games for the rest of the year.
Okay.
I'm gonna start things off with a fun one. Our number 10 is Bigfoot Roll and Smash. I mean, how could you not love that name, right? Bigfoot Roll and Smash, and that's what it is, folks. Bigfoot is a well-known a monster truck, and I've never gone to a monster truck rally. I've never had no interest in it, but this game makes me want to go to one. You are playing. It's a programming game, so you're going to be programming. Yeah, you're going to be programming these monster trucks to go around the track. And you're going to hit obstacles, and you're going to go around trying to get the most victory points by being the most destructive giant monster truck that you can. And while you're at it, you're going to try to mess with your opponents by throwing obstacles in their way, hazards and whatnot. And of course, you got to do it in style, right? You have to smash them up in style.
Right.
I actually got last year they had announced this. This is by XYZ Game Labs. They had announced this last year and gave us a really small preview of it. But it is according to the website, it's going to be available at this year's Gen Con. And the thing that really makes me excited about this, Richard, is the designers, Rob Huber and Brendan Riley.
Okay.
I think we both played their previous design, a game called Titania Ascending, the roll and write game. This is their next game. This is not a roll and write game, but this is their next game. And Titania Ascending, folks, was outstanding. That was a great roll and write. So I'm excited to see what they're going to be doing with this game here. Bigfoot Roll and Smash. That's our number 10 of our most anticipated games for the rest of the year.
I will be honest. I thought this was literally a joke entry of yours, but
Really?
wow, you really, I mean, I was not interested in this at all, but I really love programming. But okay,
Yes.
you undersold the most important thing. Where's a picture of it? The dice. Look at these
Yeah, look at those
dice.
dice, yeah.
They're gigantic monster truck tires. How does that even work? So I guess you roll them and they roll. Wow.
No, yeah, I'm not sure. Now, I don't know if these were just prototype. I'm assuming these were.
Yeah, this is all
but-
prototype. You can tell these are like prototype miniatures in these
Yeah, I'm not
pictures.
sure how they're gonna do. If it's gonna be Kickstarter, or I don't know if this is gonna be like a deluxe version or whatnot. So I wasn't really sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still. I love the designers. I love their first game, so I'm excited to see what they do with this one as well.
I do agree. Titania Rising is fantastic, and it looks like this is direct to retail. There's no reference on Board Game Geek about
okay.
a Kickstarter campaign coming. So,
Cool.
is this one coming to Gen Con?
That's from what I
That
understand.
was on the
it
Gen
was
Con
Gen
preview,
Con.
so
It was on the
definitely want to
list,
check
yeah.
out. And honestly, Ro, this is why I am so happy you are here, because man, I did not even give this a first thought when I was
Right?
going through the list. Like, okay, let's move on to the next one. But
Yeah.
geez, there's some surprising stuff going on there. I like it
Really
a
cool.
lot.
Yeah, I'm excited about this one. So that's our number 10, folks. Bigfoot Roll and Smash.
All right,
Let's
that's
move
very,
on.
very cool. Now, let's move on to number 9. One that I am very, very excited about, and I think will be a little bit less surprising if anybody's familiar with the kind of games I tend to go for and the publishers and designers I tend to gravitate towards. Number 9 is Lofoten, or Lofoten. I'm not really quite
okay.
sure how to pronounce it. It is a game in which 2 Jarls of Lofoten which will be the most skillful. It's from Pearl Games, one of the most consistently reliable publishers in the industry, because it is basically all their games are generally the output of 3 really good friends, Javier Georges, Alain Orban, and Sebastian Dudargin. And they often work together on games. Occasionally they publish their own designs. This one is from Sebastian, and Sebastian is a phenomenal designer. And, he works with his 2 companions quite a bit, but it's very rare that he'll put out one of his own standalones. Probably his most famous is Deus, which is easily one of the greatest card special power engine building games of the last decade. It is a criminally overlooked game. It is absolutely brilliant. And so Sebastian is getting back. There aren't very many pictures, unfortunately,
Right. Yeah, I
but
was
he's getting
gonna
back
ask if
into
you
this
could share a picture.
2-player.
I was just going to ask if you could share a picture or whatever.
There's the box art, which is nice, and there's
It's
some
not on the,
images.
screen right now. Sorry.
Hey, how about I do that? Another reason I'm
Just
happy
want-
you're here, buddy. Thank you. Let's put that on screen, shall we?
Cool.
So there's the
There you go.
box art. Here's what the Vikings look like. I think this is the same artist they used years ago on The Bloody Inn. Looks very, very
okay.
similar. But here's a prototype of the game. And I look at this and I say, what is going on? What is this player board I've got? Here's the
Whoa.
deal. This is not a Viking pillaging game. This is a Viking engaging in peaceful exploration and trade game, which I very much appreciate. And I guess the name of the game is coming into ports, trading goods, loading them up on your 4 different Viking ships. And this player board you have has slots that you slip things into, and it rotates as well. So, I don't know how that works. The description on Board Game Geek promises a very unique hand management system. And again, if you've played Deus, that's not just empty hyperbole. That's not just marketing speak. Sebastian Dudargin is an amazing designer. Deus is one of the best modern card games there is. So if he's doing something really new and interesting with rotating personal player boards in a peaceful Viking exploration and trade game, I want to play this game. I'm very, very interested. So often, 2-player games just have to devolve down to, okay, who can beat each other over the head the best? So whenever there's a dedicated 2-player game that is about peaceful peaceful exploits, I am definitely there in the first place. And then when it's Sebastian Dudarzine, one of the best designers for working with one of the best publishers in the industry, I cannot help but want to seek out number 9 on the list, Lofoten.
Wow, that looks really cool. This one totally flew under my radar, so I had no idea about this game. It just, for whatever reason, I missed out on it, but that looks fantastic.
Yes.
I love that player board. Like, I'm interested to see how the heck
What
that
is
thing's
it?
going to work.
It looks like you can pop the boats in and out.
Yeah.
It rotates. It might have multiple levels of slots. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm thinking,
But
that's
I
the
want to
first
play
thing I'm
with it.
thinking. Yeah, like, do you, like, rotate and, like, one part of the card gets covered by another one? Like, oh, yeah, that looks really neat. Really
They're playing their cards literally. Coach their chat. Lofoten is a game for 2 players with innovative card hand management and a rotating board, and the rest is just thematic setting text.
Great
so that's all we
choice.
know. But I
Okay.
must have it, my precious.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, here's
What's number 8?
Okay, let's move on to our number 8. Great choice for number 9. This is one I must have as well because my all-time favorite designer has come out with. He comes out with games all the time. This one's called Longboard by Reiner Knizia.
The surfing game?
The surfing game, believe it or not. Now, I don't know about you. When I think surfing, I think Reiner Knizia.
Of course.
Okay, not
as
really.
do we all.
Of course, as we all do. But this one is from publisher 25th Century Games, who just came out with a fantastic new version of his classic Raw. So this is a new game, but just looking at it, it gives me vibes of Lost Cities, one of his all-time great games. It's a two to 4 player game. I'm thinking for a 2-player game, I'm sure it'll work just as well. But you're just trying to create the coolest and longest surfboards in your little surfboard shop, which is your tableau.
Okay.
And like other classic Knizia designs, it's very streamlined. You're going to take two of 3 actions. You can add a card from the deck to your tableau. You can take a card from your tableau and start, from your supply and start, on your tableau building more surfboards. Or, and this is a nice little twist, you can take a card from your opponent's supply.
Oh.
And then, either mess with them or help yourself. All the different surfboards have different stickers that are different point values. And you're going to go until you have at least one complete surfboard, longboard, that's 7 or more cards. And then you have the choice, Richard. You can end the game right there, or you can continue until the deck runs out. So this, it could be ending right here or there. You can try to get more points by extending the game until all the cards are out. To me, it screams classic Knizia design.
Yeah, very much so.
Partnered with 25th Century Games. All of their games, folks, are the highest quality components and artwork and stuff. So
and designs as well. 25th Century
and,
Games for the last few years has been on a tear, bringing out
a monster tear. Yes.
wonderfully designed game after game after game.
Yeah. Winner after winner. And I think this is another winner chicken dinner. I mean, you have Reiner Knizia, you have 25th Century Games. To me, that's a match made in gamers heaven.
Yeah.
That's why it's number 8, Longboard.
Wow. That is 2 for 2. Things that I saw on the list and said, keep on going, because I'm a Euro snob. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, you know how much I love Knizia, and the fact that he's partnered with 25th Century Games, I think is a good thing all around.
Cool. All right. Well, let's move on then to number 7. You love Knizia. I love designer Bernd Eisenstein, and he's bringing a new design for us called Discordia. And so this is a civilization building game. Bernd is the little independent publisher that could. He's been putting out games under his label Iron Games for years. Peloponnese is still in my top 10 favorite games of all time. I absolutely love that stuff. And this looks like a much prettier and fancier production than we have seen from him. Normally his games are brilliantly designed, but just like a little dry and dusty looking, but this one looks very bright and vibrant and colorful with really nice looking components and whatnot, and a really great combination of mechanisms I absolutely love. The core driver of the game is every round 3 dice come out of a bag and get rolled. The lead player gets to take one of the 3 and use that to activate actions, and these actions are do tile laying to create connected worker placement boards spaces, or do the worker placement placement or do various sundry other things. And so it combines worker placement and tile laying to build the workers and dice drafting. I love all of those things. And I love Bernd Eisenstein. I love Iron Games. And after I've chosen my one die, the 2 that are remaining, all the other players get to pick from them as well. So it sounds like the draft is very interesting also. This is going to be one that is available, like always. Bernd brings his new stuff out at Essen Spiel. And it would, if I were there in Germany, it would definitely be one I would seek out because his designs, they tend to fly under the radar. And for my money, they tend to be some of the coolest, most interesting and innovative things that come out year after year. And so I am very, very interested in number 7, Discordia.
Yeah, this one I'm interested to, just because of what you're talking about. Iron Games, the ones that I've seen at least, Pandaria or Pandoria. Pandoria and Pact, which was like a card version of that game, or from that in that world. They tend to be sort of like darker, like you said, a little. The art wasn't. It didn't pop as much as Discordia does. So I'm really interested to see this one. Yeah, he does some really clever things that do tend to fly under people's radars. So hopefully this one's the one that sort of like, launches him into a bigger audience. Hopefully.
Fingers crossed. Yes.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Okay, great choice. Let's move on to number 6. This one I played in prototype form, folks, but I love it. It's called Ready, Set, Bet. And this is going to be ready, and you're going to be able to set bet as well at Gen Con from AEG. Designer John D. Clare, one of my favorite designers of modern times. Fantastic game, folks. I played this prototype not once, not twice, but thrice. And every single time, I kid you not, every single game always becomes this shouting, in a fun way, shouting match. You're trying to get your horses across the finish line in the order that you want because you're placing bets in real time.
Oh,
so yes, that's the twist. Someone is doing the horses, rolling the dice. The horses move along. There's a couple little special abilities too that come into play. But as you're doing it, you have to be able to bet. And only one bet per spot. So if you think the number 3 horse is going to win, you better bet on that one real quick before someone else does. And it's so good because of the special abilities. Each race evolves. So the first race is pretty straightforward. Then the second race, you're going to have a couple of extra different bets come out. And there's special things that for the number 2 horse and the number 12 horse, those numbers may not be rolled as much, but they travel a little further every time they get rolled. And then if you have doubles that are rolled, you're going to move twice. It's so good. I wasn't sure if this would work, but every time I played, it's so much fun.
How does it work? So is there one player who's not playing the game because it's their job just to update the horses?
Now they actually, yes, they do, but then they have a version, a variant where that player can still participate in the betting as well. Yes.
Okay.
And there's also an app, so you can have the app run the horses while everyone plays along.
Nice.
For my money, again, just prototype form, I've played it. For my money, it's going to be the best party game of this year, bar none.
Wow.
Because it's a party game that really, it's the closest thing to gambling you'll ever have without risking a penny. Because there's times it's so much fun, Richard. Like Michelle and I, she actually got to play with me one game, and we loved it. It was like, this is gonna be such a hit with our families. You're shouting, you're betting, but there's enough here for gamers as well, because there's strategy as far as which ones you're gonna target and which abilities you're gonna use, which ones you're gonna keep from game to game. It's so good. That's why it's our number 6, folks. Ready, set, bet.
Wow, So that is 3 for 3 games that I saw and I just walked right past, did not appreciate what they're doing.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
This one, according now, I played this at higher player counts, 5, 6, and 7. According to the box, it plays 2 to 9. So I'm really interested to see how they.
2 means it must have to use the app then, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. Yeah, but
that still makes sense.
9, yeah.
I mean, if the app is,
right.
I mean, we can have a rough guess as to how these horses are doing and how the dice are going to roll. I can wow. And from John D. Clare.
John D. Clare kills it every time.
I know, especially when he's working with AEG. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, love it.
Nice.
So excited about this one. All right.
Okay. Well, folks, this is the episode where Ruel comes up with all the really off-the-wall, amazing things that I had completely foolishly ignored, and I kind of stick to my tried and true dry and dusty Eurolover stuff, because let's talk about number 5 on the list from Board and Dice Games, Terracotta Army.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. This is the latest game from Board and Dice, and let's see. I do not recognize one of the designers' names. Oh, from who did Blossoms. I played that game. I don't remember much about it. But Adam Kopinski is the name that really got me on board because he is blowing up as a designer. He started out doing like really big Ameritrashy style. I think was he the designer on Nemesis, if I recall correctly. If not Nemesis,
I
or no,
think
Lords of
so.
Hellas, I believe. One of them.
Oh, okay.
I forget which one. Now I got to look that up too. And I should have memorized that before we started going. Yeah, no, Nemesis and Lords of Hellas. It was both of them. I was right both times. So
Yeah,
he
he did
started
both.
out
Nice.
doing that. But then last year, he was designer on Origins First Builders, also from Board and Dice Games. And that was a phenomenal Euro-style civilization game that just really blew us away. So I said when I covered that, okay, Adam is on my watch list. And when I saw Terracotta Army, the game itself solidified that. This is a game where players are competing to be the most impactful in building the famous Terracotta Army. We are, and here's a really interesting thing about this game. It comes chock-a-block with miniatures of all the different soldiers, and the miniatures are actually held off to the side in a box where they are kept, so where they can't be bent or damaged or anything like that. And when you unlock them, you literally pull them out. It's got this little miniature dispenser, kind of like a Pez dispenser for miniatures, which is just cool in and of itself. But that's not what really gets me excited. There's miniatures for the horses and the advisors and all of that stuff. But the real secret sauce of this game is the action selection wheel. There is this wheel with 3 levels, and on your turn, you are going to take one of your meeples and put it on the outer edge of this wheel and do every action that meeple is looking at on the wheel. But before you do that, you can rotate the center wheel or the outer wheel. One can rotate clockwise, one can rotate counterclockwise. You can actually see they've got the arrows to indicate which. And so it's a worker placement game where the worker placement spots are constantly redefining themselves based on what you do and what your opponents do, and that sounds really awesome to me. I just when I think they can't come up with something new for worker placement, they pull me back in, and so I am very, very keen, very, very excited to check out number 5, Terracotta Army.
Yeah, great choice. This was not on my final 10, but it was definitely a game I was looking at. I honestly thought, okay, you're definitely going to cover this one. Terracotta Army. I mean, cool. I mean, Board and Dice. They put out so many cool Euro games these days, and they're always a company to keep your eye on. And this one I can't wait to play. The whole worker placement thing, I'm always down for it. So I'm looking forward to trying out Terracotta Army. Great choice.
Okay.
Let's move on to my number 4. You're going to recognize the name here when I pop it on the screen. My number 4 is called My Island by our good friend Reiner Knizia.
Yep.
So not only I had one earlier, I've got to put 2 in my
one
my list
is not enough.
One is definitely not enough. My Island. Folks, this is based on My City, his legacy tile laying game that came out I think 2 years ago. This is based on it. This is the new one, My Island. And there's not much you can.
No, there's just the box art. Although looking at the box art, not polyomino pieces anymore, hex pieces. Yes. It looks like.
Yeah. So the hexagon shaped ones instead of the polyomino. So we're gonna see what this comes up with. The original was fantastic.
Yes.
You start with a very basic, in My City, you just start with a basic, land, and then you're gonna put the polyominoes there as you draw them, and then it unlocks certain features after every mission. There was like. I think it was like an envelope full of different components that you would add. I'm assuming that My Island's gonna be the same, but just with the hexagon shape.
Right. Yeah. Tiles. And I'm sure other choices too.
Yeah. So he's a master of design. I'm always excited about his games. We talked about Longboard earlier. This is My Island. That's why it's number 4, because I love Reiner Knizia, folks, and I'm looking forward to My Island.
This would have made my shortlist. This would have made mine as well, but for one reason, and it's actually on here. My Island. Deine Insel wird einzigartig. German. I don't know that this is going to be available in English this year.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, because I saw that this was going to be at Essen Spiel. And Cosmos tends to put out stuff in German, and then we don't see it in English, and you need the English version because there's lots of text. Oh my gosh. I'm super excited for this too. I guess mostly
Yeah.
I'm very, very excited for all of our German-speaking viewers because I do not
Yes.
know if we'll be able to get to play this year.
Wow. Okay, there it is. There's the caveat, folks. It will be available at Essen Spiel, but it may not. It probably won't be available in English. So yes, our German-speaking friends enjoy because
Yeah, yeah.
I will live vicariously through you as
Yeah.
you enjoy.
I look forward to hearing about it because, yeah, My City was phenomenal. It was a great polyomino game, and it was a fantastic legacy game. I would say it's top 3 best legacy games, period.
Agreed.
It was
Agreed. Yeah.
so perfectly done. Just
Yeah.
about, I had one complaint, which had nothing to do with the legacy, but with the way that he set it up. Because after you're done, there's a post-legacy version of the game you can play, which is very interesting and compelling. It's just that when you finish the legacy campaign, about half of all the stuff you unlocked gets thrown away. It's like,
Yeah.
all you needed was just like a little deck of cards that says, oh, randomly mix this feature and this feature and this feature, and you have a unique game. Fingers crossed, the good doctor does something like that for this one, because that would be the only blemish on what was otherwise a near flawless game. Was it My City?
My City.
Yeah. So My Island, if it worked,
Let's hopefully fix that.
if I were still in my early 20s and I remembered the results of taking German 101 or 102 in college, I might have jumped on it, but that's what kept off my list. But that's okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm so excited about it. But yeah, you're right. I didn't even, I was so excited about it, I didn't even check if it was going to be in English. So there it is.
Well, it could be.
Okay.
They might surprise us, but that is
True.
definitely not Cosmos' MO. All right.
Right.
Okay. Let's move on then to number 3. Another favorite designer of mine of all time is Vladimir Sushi, and his little publisher that could brings out something new every year. Delicious Games this year is bringing us Woodcraft.
Yes.
Is that right?
I'm
Yes.
so glad this is on the list.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
This
you
is
knew
on my
I was
list.
going to put this
This
on
is-
the list.
Yeah. I love
There's
it.
no way. Now, if I recall correctly, Vladimir is working with a first-time designer, Ross Arnold. Is that correct?
Right.
Yes, I believe
That-
so. Last year he did the same thing with Messina 1347, I think, and that was a phenomenal game. And of course, Vladimir has got some of the greatest Euro designs under his belt of all time. With Underwater Cities and Last Will and Pulsar 2849, so many great games. Shipyard, and so anything that Vladimir's name on, I have to immediately check out. And I'm really, really interested in this too. I have to admit, this morning I was going to read up. I was going to see if I could read some rules about it and all of that. But then I saw this picture of it and said, okay, I don't need to read anything about this game. Look at this. This looks like cardboard Eurogamer bliss. Look at all that stuff on your board. Your little we're elves who are. We'll try and get a right side up one. There's our board. We got our elves working in here. We're obviously going to upgrade our workshops. We're going to fill them up with all kinds of resources to make all kinds of, is it toys? I don't know. I don't care. There's a central board with lots of cool stuff, progress meters in the forest, and some kind of rondelle looking thing with it looks like, see, honestly, I don't even want to know. Some people, they avoid movie spoilers. I don't want to spoil anything. Honestly, I don't want to spoil getting this game to the table and reading the rules for the first time because it looks like it's got some very, very cool features. I love the fact that the central board is literally a buzzsaw that our little woodcrafters use to build their, whatever it is they're building. And it looks really, really neat. And again, Vladimir Sushi, does he have a bad design? I don't know that he does.
Not that I know of. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the most reliable designers there is in the industry. So if Delicious is bringing out something new, it's going to be near the top of my list, which is why Woodcraft makes our number 3.
Yeah, and there was like some dice in there too. I thought I saw some dice, and that always reminds me of his, right?
Yes.
There were dice in that. Yeah.
Right.
Pulsar 2849 was such a
one of the best
fantastic
dice
game.
drafting games, period. Easily
Agreed.
top 5 best dice drafter of all time.
Yeah,
Yes.
so good. So that's why I was so excited about Woodcraft as well. I'm glad to hear that's on the list. Let's move on to our number 2.
Okay.
This one comes as no surprise to you or anyone that knows me. This wasn't on the preview
Oh,
list.
wait. This is your number 1, right? Because we
Yeah, for my
my
number 1.
Let me read your mind. Let me read your mind.
Read my mind.
Number 2 is Twilight Roll and Write. I don't remember the name of it.
Yes, it is Twilight Inscription.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, there it is. So we didn't see it on the preview list, on Gen Con or Origins, but everything I've read from Fantasy Flight Games it says it's gonna be out August or September of this year.
Okay.
And they're already planning like live streams and stuff, so it's gonna be out, folks. We didn't see it in the preview list, but it's Twilight Imperium, the Roll and Write, folks. years ago, people had joked about it, and I never thought it was going to be possible, but it's a thing. It's actually happening. It's a 4X game. It's an epic roll and write. This is not going to be a 30-minute roll and write. This is a 2-hour game. It's a legit
Jeez.
4X game. It is monstrous. It's going to take up your entire table. You have player boards, you have central boards, you're going to manage resources. You are going to be doing stuff in Twilight Imperium, but in a roll and write form. So instead of taking 6 to 8 hours, you're only going to take an hour or two. And that, to me, appeals to me to no end. You're going to explore new worlds. You're going to trade with your fellow other factions in the game. I actually started looking at the Polish rulebook because someone took the Polish rulebook and translated to English. Now
Oh,
the
wow.
translation's pretty rough.
Okay.
So I didn't totally get it, but it looks phenomenal, folks.
Wow.
For all of you Roll and Write fans, this is definitely a step up and beyond what you're normally doing for like Roll and Write games. For you Twilight Imperium fans, 4X fans, they're distilling everything down to a more imaginable level. I mean, it looks so cool, and that's why it's our number two. Personally, my number one, Twilight Inscription.
And not for nothing, soloable.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You can play it solo, which to me, as a Twilight Imperium player, Twilight Imperium just blows me away that you could solo this.
I know.
So I am so fired up about this, and I cannot wait.
Yeah, I guess Fantasy Flight, they're not Gen Con preview ShmenCon. Or maybe they just don't want to commit to Gen Con, but I mean, there's no way they're missing this. Yeah, it looks absolutely fantastic. I'm excited about it too. I didn't even bother because I knew it was going to be on your list, but I might have put it on mine if you hadn't.
Yeah. I'm excited because I know you haven't played Twilight Imperium yet, but I think
And now
this
I won't
might
have
be
to.
like, yeah, this is the way to experience it, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, so excited. Let's move on though. Let's see what's on top of the list for the games that we're excited about.
Cool. Well, the number one should come as no surprise as well. Again, although bearing in mind, this is not just based on things that supposedly are coming out in 2022. Supposedly we're going to get Frosthaven this year. I'm not holding my breath. But of the stuff that I am very, very confident, by far, nothing comes close to number one on the list, Marrakesh. Yeah. Why? 2 words. Stefan Feld. And I wanted to do a Stefan M and Effin Feld because I love this man. He's my favorite designer of all time. And actually, I could cheat here and say, oh, this is really our top 13. Because not only at Essen Spiel this year are we getting Marrakesh, a completely new design from the man, but we are also getting, what is it? I opened them up ahead of time. Amsterdam, which is a remake of Macau, one of his greatest designs of all time. New York City, a remake of Rialto, re-envisioning, and Hamburg, a re-envisioning of Bruges, which I've actually played, and it improves on Bruges in so many meaningful ways. But if I have to pick one, I want to pick the one that I haven't played before, Marrakesh. This was a very big hit on Kickstarter. Paul Grogan of Gaming Rules did a great run through of it. So if you want to know more about the game, I don't know very much about this at all. I don't need to know because you had me at Feld. But I love how they've got just, hey, look, here's the scroll from the Kickstarter page. So this is just a way I can just show you what all comes in the box. This is the standard version. I don't know if the deluxe version is going to be available or not. But there's one very, very important thing that puts this so far above and beyond everything else. The Cube Tower.
There it is.
My wife's favorite Feld game of all time for a long time was Trajan, but there's no two ways about it. Now, Amerigo is her favorite because he did something truly amazing with the Cube Tower. And he is revisiting it now as a game where we are, it looks like, I don't even know what it does, but we are building up the city of Marrakesh, making investments in Marrakesh. I'm not sure. I don't know what this big network connection of things means, or these different towers, or these places we could build. All I know is there's going to be a Cube Tower, and it's the latest thing from Stefan Feld, and I must have it, and nothing will stand in my way. I will have this played and run through before the end of the year. Yeah, there's a lot of really great Feld stuff coming, but again, considering how, the Cube Tower, which was originally designed as an alternate for dice in warfare games, like Wallenstein and Shogun, but he said, no, these could be used in really interesting ways. It's a die with memory, where you can kind of somewhat predict what's going to happen. Yeah, they can always surprise you. So I cannot see what my favorite designer of all time comes up with when he brings us Marrakesh, which is my most anticipated game for the remainder of 2022.
Yeah.
And
Stefan.
I'm sure it must be high on yours as well.
Oh yeah, Stefan Effenfeld, as you said. I love that.
The
That
F
was great.
stands
Yeah,
for Feld, folks. We're saying Stefan
it does Stefan
Feldenfeld.
Feld. Yeah, I figured this. I was wondering where it would come on into this. So no surprises there. Number one, and I was sort of like I was a little mixed up at first. I was like, wow, there's how many games is he coming out? But then I realized that there were
Yes.
re-implementations of some of his games, and then the new one as well. So a lot of good stuff coming from your favorite designer in the months to come. That's great.
Yep, but that's not all, folks.
Great.
We're just getting started. I've got 15 other games I could talk about. I don't know if we're going to talk about all of them, but we are going to end our recording right now and go into our post show where we're going to answer questions from the live audience that's been watching us for the last, what have we been going for, half an hour, I guess, or something like that. And we'll talk about some other titles. Some that I cannot believe. I am shocked that you did not list a few that I did not put on my list because I knew for sure you would do it and you didn't. So we have some splaining to do, which we'll do in the post show. But before we go, folks, remember, check out last episode of the R&R show and look for the secret word. You've still got, when is the next, when are we going to be doing this again, Ruel? The 26th.
End of the month. 26th.
You have until July 26th to enter last episode's contest. Look for the secret word in, what was it? It was our top 10 games we'd buy right now for July 2022. And you might win a $50 gift certificate. But otherwise, I think we're out of here, right?
Yeah, let's go to the post show and we'll talk about more games.
Okay, well, thank you, Ruel, for joining me. Thanks to everybody who showed up live and who is watching after the fact. What did we miss? Let us know down in the comments. But most importantly, thank you to all the supporters of the show who made this bonus episode possible by using the YouTube membership system or the Twitch subscription system or the Patreon subscription system, etc., etc. Thanks to everybody for helping us go. So have a very, very nice day. Talk to you later. So long. Bye-bye.